Just now. powered by Savage Bowling TV. Before we get started, we'd like to make a few announcements. I want to thank my sponsors for making this possible. Ebonite for 18 great years, Thompson Brothers Auto Sales, McCarty Motors, Smith Drain Service, Mustang Alley, Tim Seaver, Shelmer's Plumbing, Ace Fire Protection, Awards Unlimited, and Big Four Socks. Speaking of Big Four Socks, David Slavin and his nephew is here with a great table of gear for you to buy, some socks with a special tournament price. Make sure you see Dave. You got to try him whenever he's on. I'm sure you'll be impressed. So I want to thank Dave for being here this afternoon. With those sponsors, they've contributed $4,000 to our prize fund. Also want to recognize a sponsor exemption here this afternoon. Scott Macias is here from Ace Fire Protection. So I want to thank Scott for participating here in the Ebonite Lafayette Open and their sponsorship. We want to recognize some past champions bowling on this squad. Your 2006 champion on lane 23, Mr. Mark Sullivan. Your 2017 champion on lane 17, Mr. Joe Bailey. Bowlers, you will be bowling 4 games across the entire center. You will skip 2 pair and bowl on the 3rd. You may practice the first half of the practice on any pair in your cross. The last half of practice, I'll ask you to return to your starting pair. Scoring, bowler A on your pair will keep score for the entire pair. We'll have a board on each pair with score sheets. Please fill those out and leave the boards in a visible area so we can come by and pull the sheets off each board. This will help us update scoring and brackets as quickly as possible. Each bowler is responsible for making sure your score is written down correctly. If a lower score is turned in, that score will be official. Bowlers, you have until the completion of practice to enter brackets. They will be games 1, 2, and 3. We have $2 and $5 brackets plus a high game pot that will pay each game and series. Also, I want to thank Chad Lester from Savage Bowling TV for live streaming this event from front to back. Please share on your social media if you'd like to, and like our YouTube channel at Savage Bowling TV. And I want to thank them for doing that as well. So now, if you please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. All right, bowlers, your lanes will be coming on for 10 to 12 minutes of practice.
It wasn't going by the beat of the music. Almost. It still sounded like a push.
Return to your starting pair for the last half of practice, please. Return to your starting pair for the last half of practice. Bowlers, hold up on your practice, please. Bowlers, hold up on your practice. Recycle your pin setters to the first ball. Again, you will be bowling 4 games across the entire center, skipping 2 pair and bowling on the third. Skipping 2 pair, bowling on the third. Last call for brackets and side pots. Behind lanes 1 and 2. Bracket games are 1, 2, 3. We'll play high game and series. Also, bowler A is the scorekeeper. And brackets updated as quickly as possible. Want to keep you guys in the loop after each game. Bowlers, good luck.
Notice he didn't say high scores.
Yeah, that's been a minimum today.
Well, welcome back. We're here, the 330 squad of the 2019 Lafayette Open, Ebonite Lafayette Open, and joining me is one of our sponsors, David Slavin from Big Four Socks.
Hey, thanks for having me, Chad.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, it's always fun to come and support the center here and your guys' tournament and do a little grassroots here in Indiana.
Right. And I noticed you have a nice display set up over there. First of all, tell us about Big Four Socks, because a lot of people, especially on the stream, don't know, or they may not have heard of you. And,
Okay,
and
yeah.
What's unique about them?
Well, as a bowler, I have a kind of a narrow foot. So what we did is we took the sock itself and we added extra padding in the heel and the forefoot to kind of fill the voids in the shoes, so that your foot wasn't kind of slopping around. And so the extra padding is almost like 2 pair of socks in the heel and the forefoot. And then as you bowl, the long formats are 5, 6, 7 games or double shift in a league, your foot gets tired just because your arch falls. So we added ribbing around the arch to basically give you support there. And then some people that I know were always complaining that their circulation wasn't good in their foot, so we added compression in the sock. And then most socks that are thick like that get warm, so we added a material up top to basically fix that. It's a thinner material, and so if you look at the socks themselves, the black part of the sock is a thinner part of the sock than the colored part of the top. So that's kind of where we got our name, Big Four. That's how I come up with it. So you have the cushioning, the compression, the arch support, and the breathability of the sock. So it's amazing that how well they've taken over and taken off over the last couple of years, and some of the better bowlers in the United States wear them. I mean, it's just looking to name drop a few people that are here. Jimmy Cook wears them, Matt Ogle wears them, J.R. Raymond's wearing them. I mean, so a lot of the better bowlers just around our area wear them.
Right.
So
I know one thing I like about them is when you wash them, they don't seem to wear out. They go right back to their shape that they were when you bought them new.
Yeah, I didn't do that intentionally, because you're amazed of how well they do hold their shape, and and I'm not trying to throw off on any other socks,
Sure.
but you go somewhere to a big department store and you buy a pair of socks. Usually it's cotton and a couple washes, and then the next thing you know, the tops are all crazy on them, and these aren't that way. They hold their shape, hold their form, and I've got some of the original ones that we tested, and I would tweak things before we actually come out with a product, and I've got some of the original ones, and some of the few guys that kind of started with me is, Jimmy Cook was one of the very big supporters, and I'd make some and have him test them and see what he thought, and then, E.J. Tackett and Ronnie Russell, those guys have been a godsend and helped me push them, and of course E.J.'s brother Zach. I mean, he don't hardly bowl, and where he don't hashtag Big Four Socks, and Shannon O'Keefe, who's here last year. She's done a lot of that for me, and I'm very thankful that I've built that relationship, and you and Scott have been great for me, and I hope that it's been a good marriage, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
and
so far so good.
Yeah, so we get people to come and bowl, and I know there's some guys here from Muncie today, and from my area, so a couple hours away that they drove to come up here. So it's it seems like every year a few more guys are coming from our area. So.
Yeah, and I know that with these socks, I have flat feet, so I can tell the difference in the arch support of these socks. And you don't even have to be a bowler to wear them. If I'm working somewhere where I'm on my feet all day, I'm going to wear them.
Right.
So, for instance, I worked Brett Michaels from Poison was in town a couple nights ago. I worked that show. It was 16 hours from start to finish. My feet didn't start hurting until 11 o'clock at night. Right before I had to go home. And it was amazing. And if I would have wore regular socks, my feet would have been hurting probably a few hours in.
It's funny that I hear that a lot, Chad. I mean, I really do, and it's I'm blessed that's happened. I'm blessed that the socks have taken off as well as they did. It's amazing the people that tell me, I work at a doctor's office, and I'm on my feet 10, 12 hours a day, so I wear them. But I work in a pro shop, so it's no different than yesterday. I went in at noon, and I left at about 11 o'clock last night, and I sat down twice the entire day. And so I was busy from the minute I got there until I left, and I went home and took my shoes off, and I was like, my feet weren't tired. Now my legs were tired from standing, but as far as my feet, they weren't, and it's crazy because unfortunately I've had some health issues this year, and I just found out this week that I've got a spur on my back of my kneecap, so on my left knee. And
it's just slide foot.
Yeah, and of course it don't help, standing and working in the shop or coaching, because I coach college bowling. So
sure do, yeah.
And it's made for a pretty rough last 3 or 4 weeks. So
well, hopefully you get to the Christmas season and you get slowed down at least for a few days,
Well, I hope. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I think that it's pretty interesting that we actually leave the day after Christmas for Pennsylvania.
Oh, you guys are going to go out east? Okay.
Yeah, to bowl 2 tournaments with Ball State. So it's we'll be in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the kind of the 4 days right there after Christmas. So 2 tier 1s, and that'll be kind of a cool thing. So
when I bowled for Purdue, we didn't go out east. We chose to go to Vegas in early February.
Yeah.
And so that was all right. I mean, being in Vegas for 3 or 4 days. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just hoping that we don't get a big snowstorm. And
yeah, that happened when Scott bowled for Purdue, and they got nailed by snow going out, I think it was.
Well, being
and you never know going out east.
No,
with
that's
those
exactly.
Nor'easters.
Well, when the kids had asked me and Craig Monroe to coach, it was very interesting because we're club sports, so the kids themselves kind of dictate a lot of that, and
you guys got to raise your own money and
right. Oh yeah, it's the kids are 100% funded, and matter of fact, that's why I won't be here tomorrow.
Okay.
We are actually we are doing our strikeathon. It's one of the few dates that the bowling alley where the kids practice in Muncie Lanes is one of the few days that we could do it. And so we have our strikeathon, which is our biggest money raising event that we have. So it's one of those things you just kind of have to have to kind of do a little bit here and there. So before I forget though, the Craig Monroe, who helps me coach, he is actually bowling his first PBA regional today.
Really?
Over in Ohio.
Oh, good for him.
And so, as someone that coached him in high school and then watched him bowl in college, I'm pretty proud of him. And
awesome.
I hope that right now he's bowling really well. So, regardless, we're still pretty proud of him.
I bet.
So,
yeah.
Good kid. Just a good kid.
Yeah, that's definitely a proud moment when you have one of your former. I can't say students, but you know what I mean.
No, because he's more like my kid.
Yeah.
He really is more like my child.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of those guys that I coached in high school and that have stayed around and worked the shop with me. And, of course, Craig travels with me with Big Four Sox and helps me coach. So we have a pretty special relationship. So, yeah, the Sox are just amazing. It's some of the events that I get to go to, you know, the Masters and Queens and the Scratch Classic, and here at the Lafayette Open, and we're doing the Bradley again this year. So it's pretty cool to get to do some traveling, and then you know, as we get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, we get to do other things. So, which is nice to just support. The people in Indiana that we know, so it's
Yeah, then word of mouth takes over, and
yeah,
you just start growing.
Well, and as me, you, and Scott have talked many times, we want Indiana bowling to grow as well as we want all bowling to grow.
That's right.
But you know, the three of us want bowling to grow in Indiana so that we have more tournaments that we can go to. You know, so.
Yeah, and it starts at the youth level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if the centers don't promote youth bowling, then our sport doesn't grow.
Yeah. It was funny because Scott come over and was talking to me and my nephew that's here helping me today, and Scott kind of looked at him like he knew him, and I said, Scott, you probably do know him. He bowled for Wapahani last year in the state finals, and so he was a senior last year. So it's pretty. This was a pretty cool thing for him to get to come and travel with me. I don't think he liked getting up so early, but because you know, being a kid, he stayed up a little later than he probably should have. But he's a good bowler in his own right. So
we have Joe Massey's son on the chat with us. Said he hadn't been able to see him bowl yet. I'm trying to see what lane he's on. He's on 1 and 2 right now, so that means the next game he would be on a live stream on lanes 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be on 7 and 8 next game. So we're about halfway through the first game here. Just kind of give you guys a background. A couple people's asked about the pattern. We have it posted on the our Savage Bowling TV Facebook page, but it's 45 foot, about a 1.5 to 1 ratio, 29 mils, and it's tough.
Very
Bottom line, it's tough.
It's very challenging. You know, setting and watching the first two squads, the guys that were making good quality shot after shot, you know, would eke the 2.0s to 2.20s out. And, you know, obviously the scores showed it. I mean, 851, I think, is leading, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Nathan Michalowski for the third year in a row. That's amazing.
Well, in 3 completely different patterns.
Yeah, well, the last 2 years we ran the same pattern.
Right.
The difference was last year compared to the year before is the center switched the type of oil they were using.
Okay.
So it did play different.
Yeah.
But we decided, hey, let's leave it the same just because of the oil change.
Sure. Okay.
So, and but still, I mean, he had to throw the shots, and it's not easy.
No, it's definitely you know, I watched Jeff circle the squad that he led, and he was just trying to hit the pocket and make spares, and you know, of course, that's what Jeff does.
Yeah.
But patterns like this, that I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah, if you have a pretty simple game and you have a good spare game, you're gonna give yourself a chance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I look for Zach Weidelman.
Zach Wait.
I look for him to hit this pattern pretty good. He can play the pattern like that, and it looks like he just struck as I said that.
He's down on 1 and 2 as well,
Yeah.
so we'll see him the next game. So we have cameras on lanes 7 through 10 and lanes 15 through 18. You're seeing 7 through 10 right now. Well, we got a chance. The next tournament that this center is hosting, actually they're putting it on themselves. It's a Christmas Eve tournament. It's a 5th annual, $500 guaranteed. December 22nd. There's squads at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. You can bowl once, twice, or all 3 squads, which can only cash once. There's an optional double, $20 per team. Bowl with many partners as you want. Cash once with the same partner. If he gets 100 entries, he's going to pay $1,000 the first.
Nice.
Top woman's going to be guaranteed $100. For 4 matches, 4 games, you're going to post the score, and he's going to pay 1 and 5.
Yeah, they've been running quite a bit of sweepers and stuff here. Obviously.
Yeah, he's got a sweeper series going on, and this is part of that.
Yeah.
And I believe there's a Facebook page for it.
There is, and that's how I actually saw it. That's one nice thing about Facebook is as a bowler you can keep up with a lot of tournaments and stuff like that. And Jared, the Pro Shop guys, are always tagging me and stuff in it, and I like to share it because there's some of our guys in our area that's come up here and bowled some of them. So.
I haven't got a chance because they just haven't been at a good time.
Yeah.
So
he typically does them on Sundays, as I remember, and I bowl league on Sundays. So
yeah, he's had them late afternoon on Sundays.
Yeah.
He had the beginning of the season they were late afternoon on Saturdays. And
right.
He didn't have a very good turnout, and it was because of Purdue football.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
People went to the game, so he decided to try to keep it away from that, which is a good idea. You want to be able to get as many entries as you can and not have anything else interfere, and it's hard.
It is hard.
You know.
And trying to stay away from other bowling tournaments, and you just finally have to pick a date.
Yeah, you do. So that's going on December 22nd here at the Mustang Alley in Lafayette.
You know, it was kind of funny when I was talking to the owners when I walked in earlier. You could definitely see some of the improvements that they've made, and I really like how they've changed the pit seating and the walkways going in and down.
It makes sense.
It does,
yeah.
And they changed it. And it looks so much. If you haven't been here for a while, you need to come because it looks really nice.
Yeah, and the railing they have here is he lowered it.
Yep.
So if you're sitting back on a concourse at the table, that railing they used to have here was right. You couldn't see the pins.
It was right.
So now we can sit here and we can see what's going on.
Yeah, it was at eye level.
It was at eye level.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to look through things to see if your teammate got a strike.
Yeah.
And then he added a bench at those railings down in the bowlers area, and that's nice for not only these bowlers but the senior bowlers. The ones that they don't want to walk up and down the steps because they may not be able to physically do it.
Yeah, well, I honestly, as a league bowler or a tournament bowler, I like to stay in the pits. I don't like coming back and forth.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago when we had the state tournament here, there wasn't
no seating down there.
There wasn't, and what they've done is it's wonderful. I mean, it's really. And if you look at everybody that's sitting down there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
I mean, they're not coming back up here, which is kind of nice. It's a defined bowling area.
Yeah.
So
and this time of year, I don't like to come up here because if it's wet outside, people track it in.
Yeah.
Say snow or rain, and I don't want that on my bowling shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't put a shoe cover on
because
I know I'm going to be the first one. Well, not the first one. I'm going to forget to take it off and fall on my face. So.
Yeah, I do not come out of the pits without a shoe cover on. I'm one of those guys that I like to slide just a little bit, and so I'm always careful. And I get up there and I rub my foot on the approach just to make sure. So.
This pattern is really, you can see during the.
That's what I'm doing. I was literally, as you was talking there, I was looking around, looking at some of the scores. And
everywhere.
There's
scores everywhere. But, we were talking last night when they were practicing for the very first time. This is the first time we were seeing bowlers on it.
Yeah.
Everybody's hitting the pockets, striking, and we're like, oh, scores are going to be pretty good.
He had 1-800. Right?
Yeah, 800 even.
Yeah.
And basically, they changed so much during practice, the scores just plummeted throughout the rest of the. So it's all about catching that transition, making the right move, not getting fooled, and making your spares while you're trying to figure it out.
And when you're moving pairs, how quick you can find it.
Yeah, because in this center, every pair is different.
Uh,
And it plays that way during league, but now it's just more pronounced with a harder lane condition.
Yeah.
You know, house shots will cover up the imperfections a lot of time.
And how the guys broke them down the 15 minutes of practice beforehand. So, or just maybe played them wrong or during practice, you know. So
And we saw a lot of guys in the last squad who re-entered played them different. And those are the guys who, you know, bowled pretty well.
You know, I saw the last squad from the first to the 12 o'clock squad. I saw a lot of guys putting surface and surface and surface.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking to myself, of course, I'm sitting back here, I'm not bowling, but I kept thinking to myself, you know, I would think less surface and moving more outside from what I'm looking at on the pattern and seeing the guys bowl. It just seemed a little more of a better idea, I guess.
I thought I saw some guys put surface but move outside, and they were playing extreme outside, and then they migrated in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were doing the extreme outside on purpose to try to break it down.
Put a little buffer there. Yeah.
Right. But you're only doing that on the pair you start on.
Yeah.
So looks like there's 50 bowlers in this squad
Yeah.
with one more squad to go. We're thinking, Scott and I were talking during the break, that we wouldn't doubt if the cut's around minus 15 to 20. But it all depends on what we get here, you know?
It's such a hard thing to know because typically, and it didn't show last squad, but typically with a redress and oil and a redress and oil, they typically get harder. But we definitely didn't see that from the morning squad to the second squad. I mean,
scores were higher overall.
Which you know, and I was telling my nephew, I was like, I'm thinking they're going to be a little lower, and it was actually just the opposite. But again, you just don't know. It's the talent and how they were breaking them down, and you know.
Yeah.
But even 851 is, I mean, it's not. I mean,
that's a lot for this.
It's a great score for this, but then you look and there was what 5 or 6 other guys I think that had 800.
Yeah,
So
the last squad I got.
So I mean,
which was most of any squad. So we had 7, 8 guys plus.
That's pretty incredible, really. I mean, especially as hard as the pattern is. I mean,
and everybody says that game 4 is the roughest. Because they get so hard.
Well, I mean, while you were looking at scores there, I look up and there's 3 guys shaking their heads as they're coming back off the approach. It's like, but you know that's why you love tournaments where you're jumping pairs and moving pairs, and I know they haven't started that yet, but that's why I like college tournaments where we jump pairs, and it keeps the field, it seems like, so much closer, and you know.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to get one person lined up.
They can carry you, absolutely.
Yep, and you get one person getting lined up on, say, 9 and 10, and they stay their whole time, they're going to blow the field away.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to move, they might bowl like crap the second game. You know what I mean?
I saw a young man.
We've seen it today.
I saw a young man a couple weeks ago in a college tournament shoot 300 and skip pairs and shoots 157 next game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's yeah,
we've seen a lot of 142 team. Or somebody shooting, 220, 140 back up. It's just kind of up and down type thing.
Yeah.
Not too many people are just shooting the consistent scores.
Right. Well, and I think that's the hardest thing, and especially like you said, game 4, and it's kind of I ran a Thanksgiving Day tournament, and we started at 9 a.m. We bowled 6 games across the house, across 40 lanes. And you start talking jumping pairs that way, it's tough. And Of course, now it's a handicap tournament, and
You had a pretty good turnout, I saw.
man, I had 97.
I mean, for a Thanksgiving tournament.
Thanksgiving
I
morning.
wonder how many wives and husbands were upset you're not spending time with the family. I always wondered that with these NFL games. Where they get 60, 70,000 people. I was like, are they having Thanksgiving with their families at some point?
yeah, it's something that we are always done somewhere around 1:30.
Well, that's good.
And so you think of
You have time.
Okay, you think about 97 bowlers, and it's not scratch, so I'm having to look averages up.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's why I do a prepay, so you can try to start doing some of that to start with.
Yeah, good idea.
Bowlers don't understand that, but that's why
Yeah.
that's why we do it. But and then 6 games, and then you try to add all the scores up and get the scores added up and do brackets and
Get everybody paid.
and you have 6 games of high games, 6 games scratch high games, handicap, and then brackets for the front 3, back 3, and to get everybody paid off, and 4.5 hours for 6 games.
That's pretty good.
It's
That's getting people home in time to eat. I mean, everybody's different as far as Thanksgiving.
yeah, absolutely.
Meals.
And we always tell everybody you're usually done and leaving before 1:45. And of course, this year we had the most I'd ever had. 88 was the best, and we had 97 this year. So
Was it mainly local support, or did you get people coming from?
No, I had people from Richmond and Anderson,
Wow.
and Indianapolis. I had a couple people from Fort Wayne, Huntington. I had a couple people from Ohio. I had 4 people from South Carolina.
No kidding.
That had come up to visit family in Anderson, saw that I'd posted it, and brought their bowling equipment with
That's
them.
awesome, yeah.
So, and it was again, that's pretty cool. So, but
We used to get a group from Alabama to come up here to bowl this.
I had some youth
early on.
I had some youth bowlers bowl. I think I had 8 or 9 youth bowlers that bowled. So, and some good youth bowlers. I had some college bowlers. Jalen Mosley bowled.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few good youth bowlers that bowled.
Awesome.
So, but getting back to my point, it was the jumping of the pairs and scores being all over the board, and 230 one game and 160 the next game, and we're seeing some of that same stuff today. We're seeing a 2-0 and 140 as they jump pairs, and which is kind of what you're wanting, to be honest. I mean, as a tournament
Keeps
director,
that field squished together, and you look at the overall standings. He's got them posted down there, and everything's close.
Well, I was talking to Zach Tackett earlier, and he said I just couldn't put a big run together. And he said, I could put a couple of really good frames together, and then a spare or an open, and then a couple decent frames again. So, but that's what shots like this do.
Well, that's what a lot of people were saying, is the fact that they felt like they could string 3 or 4 in a row and then big 4.
Yeah.
They would just, at that point, that 3 in a row is kind of meaningless, almost.
I've seen very few 4 and 5 baggers today.
Very few, yeah.
I mean,
we were looking last night, and we couldn't find anybody throwing a 4-bagger.
Well, I think I saw one
Now,
game.
Luke Mathis right in front of me might have a pretty good string, but man, other than that.
Well, I think I saw one game earlier that was 250, and most, there hadn't been very many of those. So,
like we were talking, 250's like 290.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, you're looking, man, I'm seeing a lot of 170s and 180s, and
which is
160, 160, 170, 170. I mean, it's
right here on 13 and 14, which isn't a horrible score. You just don't, we saw a guy earlier kind of shooting himself in the foot. Shot 113 the first game, but ended up going like plus 50 the next 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's, you shoot yourself in the foot that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a killer, but it's I don't know. I think I'd rather start that way than
In that way.
than in that way.
Yes.
Unless you put a bunch of money in brackets.
Yeah, then you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does the first 3 in brackets here.
Yeah.
You see the guy in front of us here standing in front of the ball returner trying?
You know, he finished that way the last set, right down in front of us, about 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that neighborhood, and I think game 3, 4. That's okay.
Yeah,
from what I
I
saw, and you know I heard him talking to some friends of his about how he was going to start that way this game, and you know
he shot 188, but
yeah,
still, it's like really that deep already.
I mean that was definitely his game plan because I heard him talking. So
maybe he's just going to wait for the transition to come to him that way. I mean, I don't know.
Luke wasn't that farther. I mean, he was a little farther right, but
I mean, he's going to have a good game. Well,
yeah.
He's got to pick up the split. But.
I mean, he's, 218 if he misses it? My math was right anyway. 208, yeah.
Yeah, 218.
So, I bowl with and around Luke and a lot of stuff. He's a solid player.
He is.
Purdue guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Bowled for Purdue.
He maybe even coached him a little bit too, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I think it was a year or two.
Oh.
Yeah, a year or two that I think he did that. So.
Well, I know he ran the pro shop here for a while for Scott Savage. When Savage had the pro shop here, and then he left, and that's when Jared took it over. So 210 for Luke Mathis. And that's a good score.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the other guys in the pair. I mean, it's 180s, 190, 157. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, J.R. Raymond's going to be 183 if he strikes out. Throws a strike here.
Yeah, I was glad to see him come. It was funny, we were talking on Facebook this week, and he had posted if there was anything to bowl this weekend, and I shared the flyer, and he immediately started asking me about it, and so.
Well, he's bowled this before.
Yeah.
He finished second in 2000. Gosh, I can't remember what year. 2014 maybe.
I was thinking 14, 15, that area.
Because I think Brett Shepard beat him. But yeah, he posted that on Twitter, and Scott and I both replied, "Lafayette Open."
Yeah. He posted it on Facebook, and I just shared the flyer. So it's social media is a wonderful thing at times.
Yeah, at times.
So.
And he posted he was on his way here earlier.
Yeah.
And said it's gonna be nice to bowl on something hard because last few tournaments he's bowled on something soft. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you bowl league now?
Yes, I'm back to bowling full time in league. I bowled 30 games last year.
Yeah, that's what I thought we had talked about.
Yeah, and so it really was just the back half of the year. And then now, I'm bowling on Wednesday nights
nice.
at Marcus Square Lanes in the Scratch League.
Okay.
And enjoying it. Not bowling great, but I had a slow start to the season. A little bit of a finger injury and got that taken care of, and I clawed my way back. Plus, I've got some older equipment, so I've got a ball that I feel like I'm married to, and you've probably been there. You love it. It's your most favorite ball, and you're going to throw it at all times. And it's dead, and I finally had put it away and started throwing something a little bit newer, and I'm bowling better now. So,
yeah, I tend to instead of starting with that, if I get in trouble, I always go to my favorite ball, you know. So
Yeah, this is this house shot's a higher volume, so this ball really doesn't work too well.
right,
So something newer has helped a lot for me,
right.
but I'm probably still about 12 or 13 pins lower in average than I should be.
Yeah, I bowl a couple nights a week and bowl. We have a 5-man league, and I bowl in it, and then I bowl a doubles. It's a 4-person league with my wife. It's a couples league, so typically do that on Sunday nights. So, but I need to rest my knee for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
Be a good idea.
yeah, it's just sore after standing very long or walking a whole lot or working the shop a whole lot. So
Yeah, and that scratch league we bowl in, it's only 4-man team, so we start practice at 6:30, and we're out of there before 9 o'clock, which is great.
yeah, I like leagues like that. Especially when guys are up and they're bowling when they're supposed to be bowling.
Yeah.
So you typically get that in the scratch
Yep.
league.
And I live about 20 minutes north, so
Yeah.
I got to drive. But being in tournament shape, there's no way I'm going to bowl in a tournament.
I probably would have bowled this year here if I'd have been feeling a little better.
I wanted to, honestly. But then this finger thing happened because I was like, okay, I'm going to take the summer off
Yeah.
because the finger thing happened last night of bowling last year.
Wow.
And I thought maybe I just hung up in an insert, and that's all it was, And it never really went away. It was still there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start bowling again. And then it came back.
Was it a pitch issue?
It was a pitch issue.
Okay,
So I just
yeah.
had my pitches redone. And then it went away and it finally healed and I don't have any problems. So, but my plan was I'm going to start practicing a couple nights a week and try to, get back in shape and maybe bowl one at a squad here or bowl
Yeah.
in the Scratch Classic or something like that. And yeah, that never happened. So I was just like, that's out the door. It's all about for me, it's all about being smart and kind of picking and choosing what I feel I could bowl in. Now, could I probably bowled in the Thanksgiving Eve tournament over last
Yeah.
weekend or last week over across town? Probably.
Yeah.
But because it was just on a modified house shot. But
Well, I don't know if you saw Jimmy's reaction when he just let go of the ball there and left the 1-2. And he turned back and was like deer in headlights, like, whoa, how did that not come up on this pair? So, so I'm assuming that where he come from was hooking a little bit more than this pair. Or he just missed. I mean, it could have been either one, but
I tell you, I think we're going to see some exciting matches tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just because we have a lower scoring pattern, and he's throwing purple hammer,
yeah.
and that tends to lead to some closer matches, I think.
Yeah. I saw a second ago, who was it that was also throwing a
Matt Sanders
Sanders was throwing it when he
He
was on
switched to
15, 16s there a second ago. Yeah.
Yep, he switched to the purple hammer last game, last squad,
Okay.
and looked like he had a much better look.
Yeah. I saw Gene was throwing it earlier. Not that we didn't expect Gene to be throwing that, but
he must have caught wind of what we were talking about on the live stream because we were like, man, he's throwing a purple hammer. I just don't know if that's the right look, that type of thing. And after squad was over, I get a message from him on Facebook. He goes, "Told you I'd get the purple to work."
yeah.
So he found a way, and he made the cut. But
Right.
I should have never doubted it.
He's pretty amazing when he can throw that thing.
Yeah. Well, it's the same way Jacob Buttroff.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Wow, look how far right Jimmy is. He's up
Trying
against the
to-
ball return. Yeah.
Wait, you just going to point the ball? Just trying to keep it online, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's twice he's made a face or a look that this pair wasn't hooking like the other pair,
Yeah.
or maybe missed, but he's definitely trying to keep his angles a little shallower, a little more direct at the pocket, where a lot of people are already fourth and fifth arrow. Which is interesting to me.
You wouldn't think they would be that deep on a 45-foot pattern.
You know, and again, I hate to keep going back to Jeff Circle, but you know, he bowled really well, and from what I saw, and he was playing them about like Jimmy is right at the moment. Of course, he was using a resin ball, but
Yeah, he doesn't have nearly as much hand, but
yeah,
he's kept it simple.
yeah. It's Mark Sullivan would be another one I would think that
Yeah,
would be.
I wonder how he's bowling. I saw him down at the other end.
Yeah.
He's on like 3, 4, 5, and 6 right now. 3 and 4, I think.
Yeah.
And he's always in contention in this tournament, it seems like. And of course, he's a former winner.
Mark's just a good, solid player, man.
And he's been making some noise on this PBA 50 tour.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, you know, he's going to win at some point, you figure.
You know, it's and he and I had this conversation maybe 6 months ago, and I used the analogy with him. I said, you're going to win on tour. Don't get crazy about it. It's a lot like those guys that have never had 300. When they get 300, they come in bunches.
Yeah.
And I can see that with him out on tour.
Yeah. It's just like a person, never shot, a younger person never shot 700 before.
Yeah.
Once you get that first one,
Then
they
you
start coming a lot
and
easier.
you get confidence. You just, and you're a little more relaxed when you get to that point, and
I see Mike Wolf down there.
I literally just saw him flush one. So
Should be getting scores here pretty soon, I hope. One thing, they're pretty good about getting those scores to us pretty fast.
it's pretty amazing how fast nowadays you can get scores and get them done. And
Well, Scott's got an excellent system
yeah,
for doing it. He doesn't even have to return score sheets to the bowlers.
right.
So, always,
Oh,
that's a good ball change
yeah.
for Jimmy.
Well, after he made the spare,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he left a 1, 2, 4, 6, 10
Yeah.
and converted it. So. Yeah, I was talking earlier about my Thanksgiving Day tournament. Me and a friend of mine, Jeff Harris, run that, and we do check-in, brackets, everything, the two of us. And we run around and get scores. And
That was just Scott and I in the beginning of this.
yeah, well,
Kind of inexperienced people too, and it's a ton of work.
inexperienced but bowlers, you still knew how it needed to be run. So,
Yeah. But just as far as running a tournament this big.
Well, the fun part is, and the scary part is, people don't realize when you start guaranteeing money,
You got a lot on the line.
you got a lot on the line. You got to hope that there's not another big tournament that comes in and schedules close to you.
Yeah.
You got to hope the weather is
Especially in December.
yes, and then you got to hope bowlers come and bowl. And
Well, we feel like the bowlers are going to come because of the reputation of the tournament.
absolutely.
It's all those other factors you spoke about.
Yeah. Well, and there's guys here that they want to win the money, but it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's more the prestige of winning the tournament. And
Well, it's like Matt Sanders said at the Scratch Classic. He feels like, the Triple Crown of Indiana is the State Masters, Scratch Classic in this tournament.
Absolutely.
And we're not even affiliated with the state,
Yeah.
but to be mentioned in that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you're getting not only the same caliber bowlers, but for the most part, you're getting a lot of the same bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's nice to see that, and that goes to tell you what kind of tournament you put on.
Right.
And
well, I remember back in the day when it was always frowned upon to have PBA national players here.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like anybody can bowl, because everybody else is getting so good.
Well, don't you? I mean, to me, as a tournament director, I want those people to come, because it does several things. I mean, one, it gives your tournament credibility.
It does. Yep.
And not only that, those players are a lot more well known, and if they're sharing your event and they're talking about your event,
right?
If you get one other player off of that, it's a great thing.
Right. Well, it's the same way with your socks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get one, top professional to tag you or whatever, like a lot of people do in your Facebook.
Yeah.
They're always taking pictures of their socks. Hey, I'm bowling league tonight.
Yeah.
Or I'm bowling a tournament.
It's fun. It's funny. It's we when I first started it, it was a running joke of who's bowling league, who's wearing what color tonight.
Oh yeah.
And then people would, as I posted, hey, I'm wearing a red and black, or I'm wearing a blue, and I would make a post, then they were constantly commenting, or they'd make their own post and tag me in it, and it was kind of cool, and then it become hey, let's match this jersey and that jersey, and now I've got some of the high school kids in my area, especially the girls, mixing the socks.
That's big with the kids.
Oh my
kids
gosh,
do that too.
dude, it's so funny.
When my kids first started doing it, we were just like, what are you doing? Well, everybody else does it. Really?
Yeah. And of course, now I tell my nieces, I was like, you're just too lazy to make socks.
Yeah, that's what we said too. No, everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. I was kind of, I don't want to say Debbie Downer, but I was a little upset that I've got some new colors coming in, a new style, and I really thought they were going to be here for this weekend, and it's probably going to be sometime next week or the week after before I get them. So wanting to break them out before Christmas and get them on the website and stuff. So so many people have asked for certain colors and stuff.
I know the Purdue team wants gold and black.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough to make every color for every school, and
and I've seen other colleges ask for it too on Facebook. So.
Yeah, and we've got some of that we've done, but a lot of the guys, if you'll see them out on tour, especially the males, they're either wearing black pants or gray pants. So we're coming out with a black and gray sock.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the ladies love the pink sock so well, and we have a black and pink. We're coming out with a white and pink.
Okay.
So,
nice.
And EJ Tackett likes the taller socks, the crew socks. And we have black and red now, which black and red is the best-selling color-wise that we have. But we're coming out with a black and orange sock, and
nice.
And it's kind of for two things if you think about it, because Motive is Motive orange, kind of that color, and so is Hammer.
Yeah.
So and we were kind of snowballing and trying to think of colors, and so we were coming out with that colors. So we got a crew sock that'll be black and orange, and then an ankle sock that's black and gray, and then an ankle sock that's white and pink. So that's coming out. It should be any day now. So I was kind of hoping that we could have them here for the live stream and show some photos and stuff. But it's always a fun thing to come out with different colors. And and even if you didn't get to stop by today, you can stop by the pro shop here.
Jared has them in there.
Yeah, Jared stocks them in the pro shop here, so which I'm thankful for. He's a bowler, so he's also likes to support me and us, and it's I'm always sharing his stuff that he has, his tournaments, and
for sure.
He's. The guys here just have always been really nice to me. So even before I ever come here and help sponsor the tournament, and did my share with the live stream and stuff. So it's nice that we're getting people to come. So.
Yeah.
And the weather's nice, so
It's perfect for, I mean, you have no excuse. You can't say this. Well, I'm not coming because of the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. No, because there's been years that, it was 3 or 4 years ago on Thanksgiving that we had a heck of a snowstorm, and my entries was down to 70-something entries that year. And when you're guaranteeing money, you're like, ooh,
yeah.
you know. So, but it's always fun when you for me just to come and talk to the guys that I get to see a couple, 3 or 4 times a year because they're from all over the state, you know. And, you know, some of them, you know, Illinois, Michigan, and a few Ohio guys that are, you know, that's always nice. And
you have a chance to get new people interested too, so.
Yeah. Well, and, let's see. Oh, we're going Wolves from Louisville, so I mean you're talking Kentucky, so you got guys from that far south, which is a good thing.
All right, about halfway through game 2, and I said they get the scores to us pretty quick, and they're running a little bit behind.
Well, that's very understandable when you
Well, you're starting to get to the point where you're going to start developing the prize fund a little bit, and you're doing a lot of the auditing with the money and things like that. So,
well,
they could be busy with that.
Double checking scores.
Yep.
I mean, you know, it looks like it's a little bit bigger squad this shift than it was last. So
yeah, 50 entries even.
Yeah. So, what did you have last squad?
40.
Okay. So yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, usually the noon squad's the biggest. So
that's what I'd always thought. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's a good thing.
Hey, maybe the 7 o'clock squad will be the big one.
Yeah. I think we'll have a lot of those guys will wait to enter until they know kind of what that 30-second spot is.
You know, you're starting to see that some of the Masters and the Scratch Classic too. The guys are kind of waiting toward that last squad to kind of know what the number is.
Do you think they're thinking to themselves, can I get that? Can I get to that number?
Yeah.
Do you think they have a shot over in
or how about coming and posting a score and let the other guys shoot at it?
Yeah.
But that's tough sometimes. So.
What we'll do is we'll get to the end of this game. We'll take a break. And then Matt Ogle is going to join me.
He was telling me that, yeah.
And he joined me for a game last night.
Nice.
So we'll try to get his thoughts and what he thought of the pattern, because he didn't bowl last night, but he was here watching.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was talking to him and TJ earlier, and they said that they were going to try to sneak in and talk to you a little bit. So.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you letting me come in and talk about the product.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
We appreciate you helping us out. And, we love the socks. I mean, I didn't even know there was such a thing until I met you and learned about it. So I was like, okay, I got to try these.
What's fun?
And I'll be honest. I was skeptical just like everybody else is.
You know what?
So I'm like, I'll try. And I was like, oh, my God, they're legit.
And here's what I tell everybody, to be real honest, and I'm okay with people being skeptical, but
because you're saying,
but
it's just socks. That's what they think.
That's exactly what they think, and it's that's not the case. It's a Cadillac of a sock.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly right.
It's and I tell everybody, we as bowlers spent. Chad, go ahead.
Stephen Becky Slayball to my parents.
Stephen Becky Slayball? Ah. Hey, thanks for watching, Stephen Becky Slayball.
Nice.
I don't know if they're in the chat room, but they're definitely watching.
But I always tell everybody, buy one pair, because us as bowlers, we buy goofy stuff
Yeah.
pro shops.
Oh, sure.
We buy scratch-offs.
Uh-huh.
We get in high games, maybe when we shouldn't. We buy pull tabs in centers.
sure.
So buy one pair and tell me what you think. And
Yeah,
you
whether
know,
it's good or bad.
and I've
Because
had,
the bad feedback is good too.
it's still feedback.
Yeah.
It's even bad feedback will tell you about your product.
It
okay?
does, yep.
And I've had, and I'm gonna knock on wood, so to speak, but I've had 3 people in the 3 years I've done this that don't like the product that have told me.
Yeah,
There may be other
There's-
people out
I'm
there,
sure.
okay, but I've had a few people tell me that they like them a little thinner, they like them a little lower, more of a no-show. But the whole premise about them is we have our logo on them, so we don't want them to be a no-show. So
Yeah.
not that we may not come out with a no-show for some of the ladies that like them. So hey,
Hey, Steve is in the chat.
yeah, I just saw that. But it's one of those things that if you've never tried them, you just really just don't understand, And it's they just give you some scores.
Yeah, they did. All right, here we go. We have 50. Well, there's 53 guys on here. There was 3 sponsors exemptions, so that doesn't really count towards entry as far as paid entries.
Right.
So leading the way, Joe Bailey, who is a past champion a couple years ago, 27 over. Mark Sullivan, no surprise there, right? We were just talking about him, 21 over.
There's a couple guys in that top 5 we were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Brad Del Marley. I hope I'm not screwing that one up. He's plus 18. Zach Weidman. Is it Weidman or Weidman? Weidman plus 14. In 5th, Zach Doty plus 10. Luke Mathis is plus 10. In 7th is Carson Opella plus 8. And Kevin Blankenship plus 2. Those bowlers are all plus. Rounding out the top 10, in 9th is Hunter Kempton at -1. And Ryan Lakota at -7. Tied with him actually is Justin Turner. So let's look at some of these other bowlers here.
I mean, if you just kind of look on down some of the just notables that I noticed, Jimmy Cook 177, J.R. Raymond 183, just up above that.
Matt Sanders,
Yeah.
-22 in 25th place. Let's see. Mike Wolf,
Yeah, I just saw that.
156, -44. Eric Tackett, -65. Joe Massey, -72. Nathan, your dad's not bowling too well right now, buddy. So kind of a lot of the same things that we've seen
The
in the
first
squad.
Yeah, the first couple squads. Yep.
You get 8 or 9 guys that are plus, and then that's going to go down from there. But we really didn't see it go down too much last squad, as far as the number of people plus.
What did you think the cut was going to be roughly?
We were thinking, just kind of glancing over everything, minus 15 to 20.
Okay. That's a little lower than it has been the last couple of years,
Yeah,
right?
it would have been plus last year if Shannon O'Keefe.
That's right. She bowled the first quad.
Yep, and she was she was guaranteed to get in. She was -7.
Yeah.
Mark Sullivan, I think, was the one who would have been 32nd at +7, 8, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
But we know this is all going to change. They've moved pairs, so it's going to be a
yeah, absolutely.
completely different story for the next game. Speaking of Joe Massey, he's up here on lane 6. He's a bowler for a couple of years in a row, made a deep run in this tournament. Kind of a swisher there. Well, he came back 222 that game, so you get a couple more of those, he'll be right back up there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, this is exactly what we was talking about when you start talking jumping pairs. Zach was plus 14 after the first game, and if
Which Zach?
Weidman.
Okay.
And if he strikes out here, most he can have 64.
Ooh, yeah.
So
he started off on 1 and 2.
right, the same pair that Massey did.
Yeah.
And Massey went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to me, that's the fun part of bowling.
It is.
To me, that's the fun part.
It's fun but frustrating. In in some ways.
It is, but and of course, I'm kind of playing your hat right now, so to speak. As a tournament director, that's the fun part because you're getting these guys to where they're having to pick their brain and they're having to think about shot for shot. And to be honest, they need to be watching how the guys bowl that are with them to see how they're playing the lanes and what kind of shots. And you can make some adjustments off of that.
But it's also the challenging part of bowling that it's fun.
Yeah.
Some people embrace that challenge.
I enjoy
I
it.
do.
I enjoy it. Even as a spectator, sitting back here at the table and talking to people and watching people bowl and watching them make ball changes and how they're switching and moving and well, that was loud.
I hope that didn't hit the rake arm.
It's exactly what I
I've
was
seen
thinking.
what that happens to a bowling ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely the challenging part is what's fun. What's not fun is when you don't bowl good because of that, But you always got to learn from it, and that's what a lot of these guys have.
Overall tournament results.
Overall tournament results. Does that include this squad? Darren, does that include this squad? No. Okay. I didn't think it would include this squad since they're not.
Yeah, they haven't. They've just bowled the one game.
Yeah. But I always got to ask.
Yeah.
So, okay, they have taken out the duplicates, I'm assuming. Right now, after the noon squad, 32nd place is Matt Sanders at minus 53. Whew. After the noon squad. So that will change, of course.
Yeah.
But Scott was even looking, he was looking here right around this number, minus 18 or so. That was what he was thinking.
So we've had the three squads. Mm-hmm. And we got this one and one more. So kind of in theory, if you look around 16, 17, 18th
yeah, that's
place.
what we're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Well, that was, Matt Ogle. He was like, I'm at 18th minus 9. And we're like, you probably might be good.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he's probably going to be one of those bowlers that's going to see, where this is at after this squad. And that'll determine whether he re-enters.
And
yeah.
And it's exactly what we were talking about earlier.
He shoots 237, 190, 146, 218.
But that's exactly what we've talked about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you get a bad pair.
Yeah, or
it may not even be a bad pair. It's just
it could have been the first 2 or 3 shots on that pair.
Yeah, just to get lined back up.
Right, and to me, that's the fun part of it.
It is.
I mean, it's also the frustrating part at times, but it's the fun, challenging part.
And there are 13 guys even or better. So John Burbage, who was last night's leader, is in 13th. So yeah, we're going to look around that minus 18-ish.
Right.
It's possibly be in the number. We'll see how close we are. It's always fun to try to guess, too, to see if you're right.
me and Scott were doing that last year, and it was funny because I think both of us missed by 2 pins. One of us was high, one of us was low, but, so it was kind of funny. But, before I get out of here, I appreciate, everything you guys do and having me and promoting bowling and pushing bowling in our area and our state. So it's
we do it for the love of the game, for sure.
And that's,
this doesn't feel like work to me doing the live show.
And it's not to me either. As you know, I enjoy coming on here and talking, and I don't have no problem with talking. So that's the fun part, But I'll get out of here and I'll go back and try to sell some product, and hopefully my nephew's not eating all the product up and the profits up, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're
But,
going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back. I'll have if I can grab Matt Ogle, and we'll chat with him during games 3 and 4.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, here we are. TJ, you with me?
I'm right here.
All right.
All right, welcome back here to Savage Bowling TV.
Didn't expect that.
Chad Lester here. We're going to let a couple people take over the live stream. Matt Ogle and TJ Smith. Guys, take it away.
All right, thanks,
All
man.
right,
Appreciate
thanks.
it. What do you think, TJ? Scores are pretty high, huh?
They're not easy, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, I mean, I watched last night, and they look pretty hard. I'm not sure they're going to get any easier, though.
No.
Usually when you put the pattern down a few times, it gets a little better, but.
Well, combination of lane surface and
Yeah.
who you're following dictates how you have to score. And if you're not willing to adapt, it gets really hard.
Yeah, your cross for sure matters. Spares, spares this weekend's going to be key too as well.
For sure. Yeah, can't be giving away those single pin spares for sure. 11 pins are.
Those are free pins.
Exactly.
So you made the cut, right? Or you're probably.
I am +8 currently, which is tied for 7th.
Okay.
+8, so.
Is this with everybody?
This,
that's after the first three.
This is everybody, yes. After the first three, we're looking at total scores here. You are -9, which is 18th.
I think that's going to be enough. I'm not sure what we got here after the first game.
Game 1 scores only 8 people plus.
Yeah, so I'm still 26. Yeah, I'm close. I don't know. I might have to bowl a 7 o'clock squad. I hope not.
Well, I don't know that it's a advantage to actually have more bowlers, because the amount of change that you're seeing just in this squad is, I'm seeing the fronts go away very quickly.
Yeah.
And guys moving much further left than I've seen in the first 2 squads.
Oh, yeah, they're starting further left too.
Yes.
Which is not ideal for those that are playing straight.
Agreed.
It looked good for me the last game. I bowled 218. The first game I bowled 230 playing straight. The last game I was hooking the lane. So I don't know, if you can figure out the moves pretty quick, then you'll be all right.
I think that's the beauty of this tournament. It's not something where you find one ball, one area.
Yeah,
and
you can't camp out.
Right.
No.
You're going to have to make physical and mental adjustments with the equipment changes and making sure that you can execute then after you do make those decisions.
Steve Slaybot, TJ, don't you owe me $5?
Probably.
Yeah, he said he does. He'll send you that with a certified check Monday morning. You'll see that tomorrow, Tuesday, Steve.
I'll say, no, come out to bowling on Tuesday nights. I'll get it to you.
There you go.
I don't know what for, but I'm sure I do.
That's what I say, too. Yeah, I'm sure I'll use the money. I don't know. See you at league.
So who we got on these live pairs here?
Your guess is good as mine. Zach Collier. I thought I saw Zach Doty on that. Let's see, it should be right here. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, he's over there. Zach Doty, he's on this. He's getting ready to ball right here on lane 10. 8. Yeah. Well, he had the first game. 210.
Up there, 210, yeah.
210. Pretty good game. I'm not sure there's been a 250. Have you seen one?
I did see one, and I think it was... Yeah, first squad, morning squad.
Oh.
There was a 250 game, morning squad.
Wow. It probably was the first game or two.
There's some previous spots up there.
I wouldn't say it was the third game. The third game is for sure the lowest of the 4 games.
And that is where I saw one.
Yeah, third game.
Austin
wow.
Bell with a 256.
Wow. 250 the third game. Well, I was looking at this sheet here, but overall, in your third game there's a lot of ones instead of twos.
Awful lot of ones.
Yeah, that transition game, you know, I mean, you really almost have to do it after the second game. Just get on in there. Mark Sullivan with a double.
Yeah, there's not many people giving the head pin away, that's for sure.
Oh, you can't. If you want to make this cut, you got to make sure you hit the head pin and make your spares.
And really catching that break to get a double or a triple in there is very important.
Yeah.
With this demanding of a pattern, if you throw 4 good shots and only 3 of them strike, well, you're losing pins.
Yeah. Hey, you got a few breaks today, right? I saw one that I know of.
Yeah, you just have to talk to the ball enough, and then the breaks will start coming.
That's probably my problem. I don't talk to my ball.
Yeah. I think the breaks came after the pocket 4-9 and pocket 7-10.
Okay. All right. Touche.
So those are just the bowling gods evening themselves out.
Yeah. Scores posted for the squad.
Right now we're only after game 1. They are all in about game or frame, I don't know, 2 through 6 in game 3. So we're just waiting to
Yeah.
see.
As soon as we get that, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll be posted once he gets that in his hands. Scott's doing a great job posting scores and, you know, running this tournament.
Yeah, I can't say enough how much Scott
Yeah.
Gilmore has turned this tournament into one of the best in the area for sure.
And the live stream with Chad is just amazing. You know, a lot of people like to watch him bowl. You know, when I was 4, 5, 6 years ago, I loved to watch him bowl, even if I couldn't bowl. A lot of people go back and watch too.
And here we go
All
after
right.
2.
There we go.
So after 2, we got Joe Bailey leading the squad at 434. Jackson Cross in second at 421. Noah Galagos at 418. Michael with a long
Jakinski?
Yeah, sure.
Jachinsky?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
We'll go that with 403, and then Hunter Kempton with a nice consistent 199.201 for an even 400.
That's
so
not
that
bad
is the
at
top
all.
5 that are plus at this moment.
6th place, -8. Mark Sullivan. Kevin Blankenship as well, -8. Bailey Maverick, -9. Matt Sanders, -10. And your 10th place, Gary Clark, -18, as well as Zach Doty and Luca Mathis. Wow.
Yeah, you look at this, you see a lot of 220s, 180s, and 210, 170s, and there's just not a whole lot of consistency. It just goes back to it's so pair to pair and who you follow.
That's right, exactly. And, you know, repeating shots on this is not exactly easy.
No. You get into that mode where you feel like you have to throw it perfect, and then you grab one, pull it left, or you say, oh, I got to get this one to the spot, and then you leak it right into 8-10.
Or as soon as you feel like you need a double, go into the 10th and you pinch one, Greek Church or Big Four in the 10th. That's the worst.
It's so nice to throw one where you're thinking, I'm not sure this is going to strike, and then all of a sudden it does.
Yeah.
Then that kind of frees up your arm swing just a little bit. But finding that has been difficult.
Yeah, consistently for sure.
So it's just such a mental battle.
You know, I think tomorrow's going to be exciting.
I think
the scores
so.
are so close. I mean, if you look at the overall, where are we at here? Yeah, so
overall.
So first is 51 over, second's 37, third and fourth is 28. You go down to, let's say 20th is -18. So there's really only 40 pins between third and 20th. That's really just 2 hits in a game, you know? I mean, so, and it's best, what is it, best 2 out of 3 tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, so
That's 2 out of 3.
I mean, a couple hits from.
Oh, for sure. Thank you, Michael and Anna. Yes, go to Facebook, Savage Bowling TV. That's where the scores are found. They're taking pictures and trying to update them as much as possible.
We just posted that about 45 seconds ago.
So yeah, right. I mean, right now, so they take 32 to match play. So currently, after 3 squads, there's a couple people at minus 53. Obviously, that will not be the number. If I had a guess, based on there being a couple squads to go, I'm thinking in that minus 20 range.
Yeah, that's what I said that yesterday. I was talking to Chad, and I said, 20, 25, 30 under is going to be the number. And I think we're looking at that number as we're going to the last 2 games here.
Yeah,
the last squad.
I mean, because right now, 20th place, Zach Taylor at minus 18.
Okay, so we got. So we're going to take another 8, so that makes minus 9 over here. So, I mean, yeah, we're looking at 20s.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see. I mean, those guys that are. I mean, with how tough these are, even if you're sitting there like Joe Bailey is at plus 34,
yeah,
that's not safe if you run into a pair that's not friendly.
You go 170 or even.
Exactly.
And then you're pressing the last game to bowl 200, and then that could turn into 170 real quick.
Very quickly. And
then you're minus 30, and you're out of the number. You got to bowl again. Yeah, it's
this tournament has always been a grind. This is why I will always support it.
Sure, I love grinds. Grinds are amazing.
And with the length this year, I feel like there's not as much opportunity for the big pull left that's going to go Brooklyn every time, or the small pull left, I say, where if you pull it a board left, it's a 3-6-10.
Yep,
that's what you're shooting at.
And if you 3 or 4 more than that, you're gonna 5-9. There's no high flush Brooklyn on this pattern.
Right. So it kind of takes a little bit of that factor out of it, where you have to throw
good shots. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say, for my set at noon, I threw 3.5 really, really good games. And, only got to plus 8. It was everything I could do.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, noon squads, I bowled 3. I didn't bowl 3.5. I bowled 3 good games. The other game, I bowled 140. I missed a few spares and didn't throw it that well that game.
Yep.
And I think part of that was because I knew that when I went to that pair, I saw a gentleman sending his ball to about 200 grit. And I knew he was hooking the whole lane, so I put that in my memory, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just went in and
us as bowlers, we like to get in our own heads a lot.
It's not hard to do.
And you almost have to throw that first shot, not thinking about anything else that anybody else has done, and make that adjustment. I mean, there were 2 separate occasions where you try to make that move, a preemptive move to start a game.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it backfires.
Right. So let's just, for example, game 3 today, I make a preemptive move and leave a 3-6-9-10 off what I thought was a good shot. So then you just have to make a move based on your game.
Sure.
And keep moving forward. And then keep that same. I mean, the mindset going into a game 4 on something like this, a long pattern, like in my mind, was keep moving left, keep moving left, keep moving left. So I make a move and I wash out. Well, I end up going 4 boards back right and shoot 230.
Nice. Very nice.
It goes against conventional thinking, but you have to read your ball and do what it's telling you to do.
Yeah. I mean, the last game today, I threw a ball I never thought would work. Bowled 218, could have bowled 240. A couple breaks, bowled 218, but I thought that ball would never work, and I brought it out and started hooking, quite a bit of the lane that I didn't think I could do, and it actually worked out. So,
Yeah.
Never give up is what I say.
Exactly.
We got somebody here with the front 8. No, that's not right.
It's not the front 8, but
I don't like the scores. I can't really tell what's going on. So they probably got 280 going,
it's
maybe?
still at least a 4-bagger.
58, 270 going. $240. Is that 240?
240.
Yeah, I was way off. It looks like a lot.
Well, anytime you see 4 strikes on the board, that's huge.
Especially right now. Yeah, I was talking last night about how I didn't see a 4-bagger. You've seen them a few times a day.
A few, but you go back and you look at who's shooting those 4-baggers, and you look. I mean,
they bowl
that's the
190.
thing. Yeah, exactly. Back 5, 190.
Yeah.
It's what you need to do in order to stay in the tournament.
Yeah. So it's
Yep, washouts and 2 8-10s. That's the name of today. It's just trying to find a way to give yourself 3 boards at the break point. I mean, really. 3 boards at the break
3
point.
inches. 3 inches. Wow. There he goes.
And there's another one on lane 12.
Yes, a guy bowling 240.
Yep.
Almost said 270. So we got one more squad to go. 1 game to go in this block. And we're going to take the top 30, well, I guess the top 28. We have 4 that have already made it from the 8:30 squad this morning.
And we're being told Rich Logan is the gentleman who's got at least 5 in a row at this point, which seems.
He's the one bowling 240, huh?
And let's see where he's at currently. 189, 182 for minus 29.
Okay.
So this is the type of game you need to get yourself back in it.
And if you got that look, you need that capitalize on what you're seeing on the lane. So if you can bowl 240, you need to do as best you can to get there.
Exactly.
That's something I have a issue with. I feel like I have a good pair that I don't capitalize on it. I just get by.
Yep.
I feel like it's okay. When I bowl 210 instead of 250 or something, I could have done. Savage Bowling on Facebook, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check out Savage Bowling on Facebook, and they're posting scores. I believe it's also Savage Bowling TV as well. Savage Bowling TV on Facebook. Michael, if you want to check that out. Oh, goodness.
And we're being told from
Looks like our
Mr.
leader for the
Scott
squad.
Gilmore, our leader, Joe Bailey, shoots 157 game 3, so that drops him down to minus 20. Minus teams, I should say.
13,
but I mean, it's how easy it can happen.
Yeah, I mean, he bowls 220, 2-0, 150. It's not hard to do.
No.
Miss a couple spares, get a couple bad breaks.
Yep.
You're right in the 150s. Absolutely not hard to do. Something I don't see, though, being a two-hander, I don't see very many two-handers here. I've seen maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, there's a few, but
usually you go to a tournament, you'll see 15 or 20.
Right.
Seems like.
Well, the two-handers that are here are very good.
Yeah. Minus me.
Yeah. You'll have that.
Looking for Bailey. Bailey's a two-hander. I think he's bowling the squad. Where's he at? Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's up there. He's
minus 9.
Minus 9.
All right. Mike Wolf throws a good shot and then gets the ultimate penalty. Maybe missed a couple left. 3, 4, 6, 10. I'd like to have this live stream for the Calcutta we have in Louisville. Have you ever bowled that? You ever bowled that?
I have not. I've always been interested. It's just
Yeah.
5-hour drive is just
Yeah, it's far, especially on league, and it's eliminator.
yeah.
But
To the
first-
possibility of bowling 3 games,
Yeah. Yeah, but you could also win, $6,000 if you get there. Yeah, that's a fun tournament that gets run in Louisville. The problem is, I'd rather be in here than bowl. Let everybody know what's going on, what I felt, how I feel about the lanes.
So it looks like Rich Logan, he ended up getting the first one in the 10th,
Okay.
and then
27.
410. So he's going to shoot 227. So that puts Rich Logan at -2. So just like that, he's moving
Right
up
in the number.
Right, he's moving right on up there.
He bowls 2-0, he doesn't have to bowl at 7.
Exactly, and that's the goal, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to bowl at 7. If I'm close to not getting there, I'm going to bowl at 7. And I don't want to bowl at 7. I feel like I could have bowled 30 or 40 over, and I bowled 9 under. That one bad game, of course, but if I bowled again, I would feel like I could bowl 40 or 50 over, and I don't. It's just not there. You got to bowl so good to bowl 50 over.
I feel like yes, it's all the outside variables too.
Yeah.
I mean, it matters which pair you draw. It matters who you follow.
Yeah.
Which decisions you decide to make with
Who's
your
on-
equipment
yeah.
and which area you want to play.
And who's on your pair? How you guys break them down?
Exactly.
The first game.
I go into both first games. I bowled the morning squad, the 8:30 and the noon. And I go into the first game thinking I have a great look because I've burnt the outside of 5.
Yeah. Well, me and you both did that the first squad.
And then I shoot 155 and 162 for both my first
I
games.
bowled 169 versus block. Thought we had it figured out, though, didn't we?
Well, we sure did. And then you abandon ship and have to try to find something else. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's why this is the ultimate test, because you throw shots everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't rule anything out. You got to try it.
yep. Oh boy. Issues on 14.
Yeah. Looking for Jimmy Cook. See what he bowled.
.177, 174.
Okay. So he's on the
So
170
we got
base.
Chris Colella up on 15. He's there. He's minus 38.
He's close.
He's
Yeah.
on a double.
There's a triple.
There's a triple there.
He's bowling 207, which is not bad. 207 and getting back to 20.
Yeah, I mean, he can still punch to get to 37 though, and
Yeah.
get right back there, right back to that even number.
Oh, yeah, you're right. See, I read it again wrong. That's
Yeah.
why I don't like these scores. 37, he's -1.
And that's huge.
I'm going to quit adding scores up and let you do
All right. Yeah, I'll be the math guy.
that. You just let me know. Missing some faces this year. There's probably 5 or 6 locals from my place that didn't show up.
You know,
They got
I
previous
was
engagements.
talking to Scott Gilmore earlier, and he was looking at just the 32-man bracket from last year. And it's
19,
like,
right?
there's, yeah.
Anything you
It
told me
was 19, but I think there's been a couple that's shown up from then. But still, 19 that was in the bracket last year, not made the trip this year. Obviously, you understand several, but I mean, this tournament is, he does such a great job of adding money and
getting the sponsors. That's what he meant.
Exactly, making it worth it. You make that match play bracket.
That's a good chance. You double your money.
Exactly.
You bowl one squad, you double your money.
That's huge.
You can't ask for much more than that.
No. There's Bailey right in front of us.
The middles are just so tore up. You got to be left of 23 or 4, and you got to be right of 15. You can't just get in the middle. I talked to Bailey earlier. I think he said he's 25 and he's going to go on tour next year. But he knows that he said he has a lot to learn. I said, don't we all?
That's for sure. It's a different world out there.
Yep. That's going to be one of them. Making those spares. The fourth game here, finishing up the third game.
Yep, some people are starting their fourth. So Chris Colella, who we just talked about, needing to punch to get to that even number. 4, 7, 10 in the 10th.
Split. Yeah, that's what do you probably miss? 2 or 3, right? And that's the ultimate penalty.
Yeah. It's just so easy to.
Or left. I'm sorry, left.
So easy to tell yourself that you need it.
So you made that today, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. 4, 7, 10. Slid it right over there.
Maybe?
Oh, almost. He almost had it.
While 2-0 is a good game,
he's still minus 38.
It's just so hard to try to get that number back.
Yeah.
So we got Joe Bailey right in front of us, trying to play fairly straight. When I say fairly straight, I mean 15 to 10.
Yeah, and I see that's what I found was a problem. I couldn't do that the third and fourth game. You had to move in and circle it. You saw that too as well, I believe. Yeah, I mean you just can't keep playing the track.
No.
And when you move in, you got to go from the rolling it to circling it and throwing it slow and hitting it.
Yep.
It's a big difference from playing 12 to 25. Matt Ogle here with TJ Schmidt. If you guys have any questions in the chat, let us know. We'll be glad to answer it. We've bowled 2 squads apiece. Hoping to make the cut. I believe he is 8 over. 9 over. What are you?
I'm 8 over.
He's 8 over. I'm minus 9. We both feel safe, but we never know what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, because currently, let's look at this again.
Okay.
So currently, Matt, you are in 18th place. So you need 15 people to pass you.
Well, technically 4 are already in.
Technically 4 are already in, but they're already, I think, enough ahead of you. I think.
Are they already in here?
From the morning squad.
Okay, I got you.
Let's see. From the morning squad, the top 4 are automatically in the bracket tomorrow, and
that was the
those were yes. So Jeff Circle, Michael Cottrell, Jason Flaw, and Eric McCormick were those 4, and they were all plus 4 or better.
Okay, they're all in there. Okay, good. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
At this point, 15. Yes, you are not getting knocked out from
this
that.
one. Yeah, okay, I got you. So it's 15. I just don't see that happening, TJ. What do you think? 15 beat me from these next 2 squads?
Not based on what I'm seeing. I mean, I keep seeing.
It's just hard to bowl even. 5 over?
I just
5 under?
don't see. I mean, and maybe this is why. I mean, I just don't see the need for more than 1,000 on any bowling ball,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing
I
a
don't
lot
have
of
a-
surface.
I don't have a pad at under 1,000.
Exactly.
Ryan Lakota on 11. Nice shot.
With a quick double. Where's he at after 2? Minus 34 after 2. Looks
Not
like
sure.
he's found a little something here.
Hopefully he found that in the third game. Not sure what he bowled.
Looks like a 170.
Oh, no.
No, 198.
Okay. So he's close still.
Yeah, he's close. You know,
Needs that
Top
240.
off.
That's hard to do.
yep, exactly. Once you put yourself into that hole, it's so hard to try to get more than that double, and
Yeah.
and to then not open.
How do you, knowing the scores are low, coming into the morning, you saw a little bit yesterday, last night when you watched. What's your mindset coming into this morning?
The mindset is you have to make spares. You have to tell yourself to stay mentally in it, because it's so easy to let yourself, based on a couple shots where you threw it good and you didn't strike. Everybody else is throwing it good and not striking as well. So you have to just grind through those couple 5-6 frame spurts where things just aren't going your way, and just keep throwing as good a shot as you can. I mean, you know, that's why both sets, first game, like I said, I thought I had it. I thought we broke it down perfect, because I was so worried about trying to set myself up for a good first game, knowing how pair to pair it is, knowing it's all about who you follow.
Sure.
Trying to get out the gates with a 220, 230. So, and then when that doesn't happen, then you're kind of pressing a little bit.
Then you're pressing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't start
still
with
got 3
150.
games to go.
Exactly. You can't start with 150, 160 and hope to do anything. But
No.
you know, luckily I was able to dig my way out of that hole and
But you
get
know,
back to plus.
Traditional thinking, you bowl 160. The next pair I'll just bowl 230, 240. That's not the case on this pattern.
Not at all.
No, 200's a great game on this pattern. And you can't just bowl 170 and expect to bowl 230 the next game
Exactly.
and make it the rest of the way. But
I'm looking up and down. I see.
yeah, there's not. So
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, just what I can see sitting here, I see 4 200 games
out of what, 10 pairs?
and not a 1 over 214.
That's another thing I was talking about last night in the high game. What did we say was 240?
256.
Yeah, that was the third game.
It was the third game.
256.
I mean,
that's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, oftentimes I'll miss a spare or a couple bad breaks. You let that compound into the next few frames, and you just lost 30 pins because you're worried about the last frames that are already over.
Exactly. And then on a demanding pattern like this, you
can't do
cannot
that.
afford to do that.
No, you just got to move on. You rack the 3-6 around the 10 once, and you're fried. And you do it again, then all of a sudden you're bowling 150. I did it.
Yeah, pin action has always been goofy here. I mean, even a common spare is not a given.
No, not at all.
I can't tell you how many times I heard people say when they left the 1-2-8, I'm scared to shoot at this. I have no idea what to do.
I left the 3-9 a couple times, and I was like, how do you even make this? Get lucky.
Exactly. I bowled with Ryan Burks, who threw urethane the entire time, was throwing a hot cell. And and he made the 7-10 his first game. And then a couple frames later, left like a 128, like I was talking about. And he goes, I was almost more confident to shoot at the 710 than this.
Well, he shot that, and it looked like he felt like he made it.
Oh,
That was to your
Dead
left,
on.
right? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he hit it, and he was like, yeah, I got this. Made it. Textbook. Looks like Bailey's still playing to the right. I don't know how he's doing that. Not that he's scoring well, but I just don't know how he's getting his ball down the lane.
Well, where I ended the noon shift, which, it's completely different. There's how many more bowlers in this pair or in this lane?
Yeah.
I think there's
several with 5.
Several with 5. We
Yeah.
had several with 3.
Yeah.
In the
Not
noon
very
shift.
many with 4.
So I don't think that we saw as much of a
Transition.
exactly. So I don't know. But it's all about getting something clean enough through the fronts.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I went to a Pearl the last game, and that seemed to work out very well. In the first 2 games, the first game I threw a ball that was pretty strong. The second game, I had a couple of balls go through the face, and so I switched balls to something a little cleaner. It seemed to work, and then the third game, none of that worked, and I should have moved left, like I said earlier, and I didn't. And then I did the fourth game in both 2-team, but just making those decisions on the fly is hard to do when you only got 4 games.
Exactly. And you know that you're close, so you don't want to necessarily make that big jump and then start fishing.
Yeah, and that's what you do too.
Yep.
Because there's no gradual moves on this surface and this pattern.
Yeah. Not at all.
I wonder how many entries we'll have the next squad. I know a few guys that'll bowl again.
Yeah, because I can't imagine you're going to get many more walk-ins. I bet all of the people that are bowling now, you'll get the people that didn't make it that want to try again. Well, let's see, we got Ryan Lakota right in front of us on 12. He's on a 4-bagger. He kind of likes it.
Looking for 5, but he's got it.
So he's got spare 5-bagger. And like I said, we think he's right around minus 38-ish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he had the one.
Yeah, I think he shot 199 or 198 last game.
Yeah, so 34, 2, 36, yeah. So he needs this big game here that, is not so easy to get him right in the number.
Off to a good start, though. I mean, at this point, he's pacing in the 230s.
Yeah. So he got a spare 5-bagger.
Yep. That's huge.
See what I did there? Added that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to do when you're missing 4 frames. 3.
So let's see. Rich Logan, who got back to almost even, is up on 17. That's spare.
Oh. He had spare strike, spare open.
And just like that, he's chasing 13 to try to stay
Yeah.
plus. I mean, so you got to get a double here in these last 5.
That's
I mean,
so sick.
It's that. It's just like that. You let one lapse.
It's real easy to be at home or even watching back here, to say, hey, why aren't they playing here? Why aren't they playing there? Well, a couple bad shots, you're not going to play there no more because you feel like you made a good shot, but it really wasn't. So you move. What about this? I don't know his name. What's his name? Vu Dong. That straight ball right down the middle, that's almost like the helicopter.
Yep. Oh, yeah. He made a good run at the Indiana Scratch Classic. He made it down to, I think, the round of 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the what's that called?
I have seen it once in person at the World Series of Bowling back in like 2015, I believe.
What do they call that? Do you remember?
The Taipei Spinner?
Yeah, spinner.
Yeah. That was a year that that they had several Chinese bowlers come over and bowl.
They throw 14 pounds too. We had some 14s on the truck, and I said, "What are these for?" Well, that's for the spinners. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Generally, most of the guys throw 15s and 16s. Scores for Darren Chafin and Sean Fitzpatrick. Sean, I guess, would be ditto. I don't see him. I think they both this squad. Oh, ditto. Yeah. So
Let's see. So it looks like Sean, after 2, he was minus 77 and 168, 155. And Darren looks like he's minus 54 after 2, 187, 159. We should be seeing scores for the third game pretty shortly here.
yeah, shouldn't be much longer.
There's some people that have just started. Yeah.
Just finished the third. Oh, here we go. Oh! I feel like you have to hit the head pin, right? You don't have a choice. You know, we can do a backup, or not a backup, but a back door.
As it was explained to me, the goal of this game is to stay behind the line and hit the pin closest to you. And if you do that,
I guess that applies for all styles.
I mean, it really does.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we can get a back door, but I don't see that happening with that spinner release. Could, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's happened, but
Yeah.
more times than not.
Oh. Ian, as soon as those scores come up, we'll let you know. We're going to post it here. Shouldn't be too much longer. Like I said, we got a couple pairs that just got done with the third game, and a few pairs that are in the 7th frame of the 4th game. So
Mike Wolf up on 18. Yep.
yep. On a strike.
Right there off a strike.
Stone 9.
Can't hurt much worse. And it looks like in the 5th frame there was an open there too.
Yeah, I don't think he's bowling that good either.
Yeah, he was minus 54 after 2.
Yeah. Are you gonna do any tour stuff next year, or are you?
We will see.
Yeah.
It's.
I know you got a family, a couple kids, right?
Yep, got a couple kids, a 4-year-old, 2-year-old.
Oh, goodness.
And a wife who just finished up school. She went back to school to become a teacher.
Okay.
So
Good deal.
it's been a little of a hectic year. So I'm trying to get back out there.
Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah.
Good. Hopefully I'll see you out there.
So you going full time?
I am, yeah. I'm going to try
Very
it,
nice.
see what happens. And, you know, they announced the dual patterns. I've always told everybody I'm not a big fan of that. Still not a big fan of it, but, you know, you got to make what you can of all of it. So,
Right.
you know, I'm going to do it tournament to tournament, and hopefully it works out. See if we
luck.
can defend our title for the doubles.
Yeah.
Me and Sean.
That was very awesome to see as someone who goes out with you guys to USBCs or went out with you guys to USBCs.
Yeah, I don't put that squad together
I
anymore.
know. We got a big group of
Too
Purdue
much work.
guys now, so
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
good.
But it was very cool to see.
Yeah, I appreciate you watching.
And I will say, a little bit of a sappy moment there. That moment with your son
Gets you, man.
is
It gets me every time I watch it.
is the moment we all dream of there
Absolutely.
as parents, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
But it is a different world out there on tour.
Yeah, there's no, you know, when I first went out, before I went out, I was always the furthest one left. You know, every tournament I bowled, I went out there, I was the furthest one right. So I had a lot to learn. I had to figure out how to get my hand to the right spot, you know, to be further left or be as left as everybody else. And it wasn't easy. I'm still learning.
It's a huge adjustment. I mean, I found myself, you know, I will try to, as much as I can, bowl the Masters.
Sure.
Because that is your best odds to make money.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
cash 1 and 4, and they have 400 bowlers.
Yeah.
Gives you some good odds.
Yeah.
But it's a different world for sure. The World Series of Bowling did that a few times. Improved every time.
That's good.
But it's...
Mike Wolf on 17, ring 10, right after a stone 9.
Matt Sanders, how's he doing this squad? Wow. Whatever that was, that read at 14 feet. See, after 2, he was minus 10.
All right. As long as he's behind me, that's good.
And then you see that. You see the old plaque 10.
Yeah. You know, I would hate to bowl on a pattern here where you had to get to the left gutter.
Oh boy, yeah.
With those long bar turns or whatever that is in front of it. I don't know.
Uh-huh. And we got game 3.
All right. There's nobody plus.
Wow. Okay, so
I think
the
I'm good.
top 5 are as follows. We got Rich Logan at minus 2 with that great 5-bagger the game previous.
Yeah.
We got Noah Gallegos minus 3. Zach Doty minus 4. Joe Bailey minus 9. Jackson Cross minus 16. Then right behind them are some solid names.
bowlers, yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
Mark Sullivan, we got minus 18. Hunter Kempton, minus 21. J.R. Raymond, Luke Mathis, Matt Sanders. Matt Sanders is at minus 25. I mean, it's tight right there. I mean, there are...
Ian, it looks like Ditto had, Sean had 145. And Darren had 145 as well. So the 2 you were looking for.
So, I mean, it looks like right now, in 22nd place on this squad, Michael, yep, not trying that one. Lulman?
That's it?
Yep, sure. He's minus 47. I mean, at this point, if he can break off a 230.
He's right there.
It's right there. But, I mean, that's 22nd place. So, between 1st and 22nd is 45 pins. I mean, that's...
Even 11th to 21st is 13. I mean, that's just a couple of hits, one hit.
Exactly. One hit off a
You
strike.
can move 10 spots.
Yeah. Smash 9 off a double.
Yeah, I mean, anything. Trip a 4 to make a 4-bagger into the 10th. I mean, that's a big deal. Golly, nobody is plus on the squad. That's crazy. And we had how many after 2? We had 1, 2. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, that's because he blew 150.
Yeah, so
1,
we had
3,
5
4.
people plus or even after
we have
2,
none.
and now there's none.
Ryan Lakota's bowling 247. That's the one he needed.
That's it right there. From minus 36, he's going to shoot 247 and probably lead the squad.
Plus 11.
Plus 11.
Oh, he's in.
He is very
I mean,
much
just like that. He's minus 30. He's minus 36. he's thinking, you know, I need to bowl 210, 220 to have a chance. Then he breaks off 230 or 240 and he's right in there. 247. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 247 finishes it off.
Passes me up. And we're going to have to talk. Me and him.
And we got Zach Doty in front of us on 13 and 14. He's -4 and has gone spare, strike, spare, spare, spare. Nope, just strike, spare, spare, spare. It's that whole counting thing again.
Yeah, see, I'm not into that. That's your deal.
And at this point, Joe Bailey did exactly the thing that we were talking about, how easy it is to do. Goes fishing. He knows he needs a decent game. He was -9 after 3, and goes fishing and is going to
130.
He's going to shoot 132 with count.
Yeah. Ugh.
Left a 4-6 in the 10th.
Well, I guess we could say he's going to bowl again. Wow. Unreal. I believe he, let's see. Let's go look here. Noah. Okay. Yeah, Joe Bailey won in 2017 too.
And he had a good showing last year. But I'll tell you what, Nathan Michalowski, he is.
Oh my gosh! Boy, he's back to back to back. Is what Scott
on
said.
pace for back-to-back squad leader.
I'm going to say he's safe.
Tournament leader. Yeah, he's probably safe.
Yeah.
Plus 51.
I mean, he's simple, soft at the bottom, rolls it real nice. It's just, you know, you got to be kind to it, especially with this lane surface and how hard they are.
Yep, exactly.
You can't super strap it and.
Nope. Open up the hand, let it fly.
You can't. It's not. I love seeing patterns like this. You can't just throw it right and watch it come back. It's all about shot making spares. That's correct, Glenn. Absolutely. You know, we've been talking about that for the last 20, 30 minutes. You know. And as well as shot making spares for sure. You gotta have the spares. You know, catch a double, get some spares, and bowl 192 0.
It's all about the line you pick and the angle through the fronts. You still almost have to get the ball going forward as opposed to looping it.
Yeah, and there's only a couple options you have. There's not like you have 4 or 5 options you can pick from. You got to make the right decision when you make it. You can't be guessing.
100%.
Especially
you have to go all in on it.
Yeah, you got to commit. If you don't commit, you might as well not even try it.
So I'm looking. See, Jackson Cross was up there. He's -16. He's bowling down on 7 and 8. He's got 179 in the 9th.
209 if he strikes out.
He's got 209 out there to get him to that -7 number, which would be just huge.
Which would not make me happy.
So it looks like, and here it is again. It just we got Noah over here on 7 and 8. You know, he's got 99 in the 8th and just washed out.
Oh.
Well, it says he got 7, but he got 8. So he didn't wash out.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he's got. So he's max 240 or 149. So that takes him down to the -50.
What are we looking at for a number here? I mean, 20 might be lower than that. Might be lower than 20.
Right at the moment, there are 6 people better than -20.
Okay.
And -20 right now would be 21st.
So that's 27. So you
That'd be
got
27. So I'm at
21 or so, 22. Yeah, I'm just right where we were talking.
right.
We're on pace for that. I think I'm safe.
Minus single digits are very good.
Yeah. Evens are great. Anything plus is solid.
Chuck, what's outlined for tomorrow? So tomorrow is a 32-man, best 2 out of 3 eliminator bracket.
Currently, we're thinking it's going to be around 22, 23, 24 minus 23, 24 cut.
Yep.
Top 32. 20. So 4 have already made it.
And Jackson over here on 7 just got his double to get the 2-0.
Wow.
So he is going to be safe. He is going to be in that with the minus single digit.
Wow. Zach Doty with a double.
That's big.
Yeah, double there.
And he seems to be, and you hate to completely speculate, but he seems to be in control of this pair as far as his misses have been 9s.
Seems to be comfortable as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So strike, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, strike.
Looks like Fitzpatrick. No, just kidding. Oh God.
But so tomorrow for the first round of match play, and this is where tomorrow is really difficult, because with how this pattern is, and with how you look, there's people playing all over the place.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that way.
The way that it starts tomorrow is that there's 4 total people on a pair. There's 2 matches going up right at the beginning. You find a couple guys that don't want to do what everyone else wants to do.
They can mess it all up.
And man, it can really get squirrely for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why tomorrow there's going to be some people that lose with 220s and people that win with 170s.
No, yeah.
So,
I was talking to Scott about it, and we was thinking 190 is going to be a great score tomorrow.
Zach Doty with the nice triple there.
Oh, he's got a triple here, yeah. So that's huge. We still got one more squad here at 7 o'clock. Looks like we're running on time, so.
See what else we got. What's Matt Sanders doing over here on 9? He's got 117 in the 6th.
He's just double
strike
here.
in the 7th.
Oh.
Goes face.
TJ, you're going to be on your own. I'm going to step out for just a second.
Alrighty. Sorry about that, Matt. Just turned the volume switch the wrong way. All right, Matt with the spare. So he's got 137 in the 7th with a spare in the 8th. So he needs to punch to get to 217. What that'll do is that would get him to -8 if he can punch, which is right in that number. with that bad count, that'll pretty much count Matt out of it. 'Cause if he spares, he's at 173. So we can get to 203. So that would be minus 22 if he ends up punching out. So I got my buddy Luke Mathis down on 5 and 6. He's currently right there. He's minus 23, but got what, 97 in the 7th with a spare in the 8th.
Oh boy.
Again, just
Oh, Matt Sanders with a spare there. The 2-4-2.
which is looking like if our thoughts are right on that 22-23 number, he needs them all in the 10th to get to that 22.
Oh, does he? Okay.
So
Yeah, but you never want to be the number, so
no,
I'm sure he'll lower
you really
down.
don't, especially going against what you'd be going against a guy in Nathan. Odds are,
Yeah. Well, I would say he's safe.
who has always had a good look here. Just
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You know, you're plus 8.
Yep.
I'm minus 9. Do you have any interest to bowl again? Does it make you want to try and be the leader, or do you want to
no.
better your score?
The leader, no. If I bowled again, it would only be to see if I have something for game 1 and 2. I mean, I had something for game 2 because I had to jump ship from game 1, and I made a good guess.
Okay.
But as far as that goes, I think finding something at the beginning is why I would want to bowl again. Now, with that said, what are you looking for? Total?
Yeah.
With that said, you've also got 15 minutes of practice tomorrow. I know it didn't work the first 2 squads, so I've got some other ideas as far as, and at this point, with the people that are on this list, I mean,
That's what I was looking at.
you're not
Most of them are going to play straight, I believe.
right, but I mean, you're looking at this list of bowlers. You're not going to find somebody. I mean, if let's just say Matt. Well, he got 7, so I'm
He's a,
pretty sure he's out.
Yeah.
But let's just say, someone like Matt was the number. It's, Nathan is going to have his hands full.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it matters if you're 1 or if you're 32.
Right.
If you make this
Cut.
this
You're
cut,
it's going to be a match.
yes,
It's going to be a battle.
Yep.
That's what I was talking to Scott Chad about earlier. I was at minus 9, and I'm thinking, maybe I should better my score, but there's only 10 or 15 pins from 3rd to 18th to where I was, so it's only 1 hit,
Exactly.
and best 2 out of 3. I mean, that's the format, right? I haven't been here a couple
That's
years.
2 out of 3.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a 1-game
100%.
match.
100%.
So, I think I'm going to stay where I'm at with minus 9. Hopefully it makes it, which I think it will. See what happens.
Yeah, I don't see many people that was outside that number except for Ryan Lakota that would have jumped in.
Get there, yeah.
I mean, I can't see what J.R. Raymond's doing. He didn't necessarily look too happy on that shot. I see a 1 as his first number, so that's going down. Let's see.
What's Zach Doty here? He can bowl
He's got 258 out there.
Yeah, 258.
I mean, this.
That could be your. He could be your leader.
Oh yeah,
54.
gets that first one.
54. 51's the leader, so he could be 54.
He could get to 54, and we could have a new leader. All of that talk about Nathan being the man.
Here we are. Zach Doty needs the next one, and good count. There he is up on 14. Seems like he likes it. Looks like I sound like a bucket.
Yeah,
Shake a
collapsed the
four-pin.
bucket, left the 4.
So Nick looks like he's still the leader. Right behind him is going to be
It's going to be Zach Doty. He's going to
in the 40s.
With a spare here, he's at 247, which will get to him to plus 43. That's a big score.
Plus 40 for 4. That's a big score. Yeah, you know, not normally we say that.
Yeah.
Plus 40 is a good score for one game, maybe.
Exactly.
Not for 4. But you see Paul Stark here throws a strike on his fill shot the last game. You know, does that ever make you want to bowl again?
Of course, of course. You always find it the last game when you're minus 80, and then you shoot 230 the last game to go to minus 50. And you're like, oh, I was that close. I just need to figure something out.
Because you're not squeezing, and you're just letting it fly. And
exactly.
And it's 3 games later. They're not as hard, but they're not easy.
Right. But then you catch some doubles.
And then you start another squad, and then it's not even close to what you finished with.
Exactly.
What do you think his pitches are?
I don't know.
Does it matter? 206. 6-1. I think he went 240.
It's a good game there.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything 2-0 is good.
Let's see. I see a couple 200s this game. I see 1, 2 down there. I see 3 on this pair, 2 on this pair. 1.
There's 1 past the one you saw.
3.
Handful, 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah, I mean
that's
it's averaging probably 10 200 games
we've got
a game.
We've got 50 bowlers or so in the squad. 53,
yeah.
And we've had 6 or 7 200.
It's not
games.
even. Yeah, it's not even that really. We had 8 200 games the first game.
Yeah, out of 53 bowlers. That's crazy.
$13 the second game.
Wow. So there's more on the pairs that they didn't get practice on. That's not common.
6 whole 200 games in game 3.
And there's probably about
6
that many or a couple more than
yeah,
the 4th game.
I'd maybe call it 8.
So we're averaging 7 or 8 a game. Wow.
Make your spares, kids.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more you can say than that. 8 out of 50. 1 in 6. Well, 200. You know, you
Like we said, not easy.
you look at that, though, you think about that, and then go try and bowl, and you're like, I can bowl 200. No, you're not 1 in 6. You didn't bowl 200. Wow.
Well, I was just asked the question if I was going to bowl again.
I think they asked the wrong person.
Yeah.
I should be the one that
Yeah,
asked.
and yeah, you shouldn't be bowling because again, I don't know that anybody.
Well, there's nobody plus.
Yeah, except for
one or
Zach
two,
Doty and Ryan Lakota, they ended up
So 13 people
both
need to
pulling
beat me.
247s out their last game to get to that plus number.
They, I'm going to say 10 people have to beat me in the next squad. I don't think that's going to
It's
happen.
pretty darn close to that, yeah.
I think you're safe for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw J.R. Raymond fist pumping down there. I don't know if he's got something going on or.
Well, it looks like he's got a spare or an open in the 8th, a strike in the 9th, and a strike the first ball of the 10th. Let's see. This could be
So
pretty large here.
2-0. 206. He strikes out. Looks like he got. Maybe not. No.
No, he
No, he did get it.
he
Yeah.
got it. So he's in the 2 teens right now. So he'll be to 220. So JR getting to plus.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he did. 226. It sounds like he got. So he's plus 4. That's good. That's just
That's
he's out of the number or the cut, and now he's in the cut. We both 226. So
get
Yeah.
yourself a couple doubles and bam.
yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get the first hit in the 10th there, he's out.
Yep. So ends up getting to that 226 number, and
yeah, he's +4. So we're gonna have 3, 4, maybe 5 gas, both plus this squad. So. Yeah, I mean, it's just anything can happen.
yeah, I don't know what Mark Sullivan did.
No. Let's see, he started on 23 and 4. He went to 7
That
and
means
8.
he would have ended on. If he started on 23 and 4, he ends on 17, 18.
Yeah, he was the bottom last week, but 181.
181.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so
gets
it's
into minus that 37.
Yeah, that's that bubble number. Crazy action going on here. I'd love to see some jackpot bowling going on this pattern. Nice job, Joe. Yeah, I mean, you could.
JR is all smiles now.
Yeah.
Grinds out that nice 220 game to get to plus.
Could you imagine $1,000 pot games going on after this?
Oh my gosh. Well, better yet, could you imagine just putting any kind of, really putting a PBA event on this? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how that would go. Scores would be I don't think they'd be that much higher, though.
I kind of don't think so either.
This is like U.S. Open stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
lost.
my first thought. Chad mentioned U.S. Open, and the U.S. Open this year they ran a 45 1-to-1 pattern.
Brutal. That was brutal.
And everyone started way left because it's the only way you can create hold is angle through the fronts.
Yeah. Yep, sure is.
And so that's my preconceived notions going into today was that I'm going to have to do that too, or create enough hook on the outsides in order to give myself a shot at one game.
Which is why we burnt up
Right.
outside 5 first
Right.
game.
And then we both failed.
Yeah, we both miserably.
So,
Yeah.
all right, well.
So we just finished up the 4th game here in the 4th squad of the Lafayette Open. We got one more squad to go here at 7 o'clock. We should have scores out shortly for this 3rd squad. And once we do, we will let you guys know.
This was fun. Maybe we should do it again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good to me.